Now as one final step, let's install Drupal in this directory. To do this, we'll need to download Drupal and unpack it into this folder, and we'll also need to create a database for Drupal to use. So first let's download Drupal. I'm going to open up a new tab in the browser, and I'm going to type download Drupal. We'll click on the topmost option, which is drupal.org/download, and we'll click download Drupal 8. The specific version that you want or that you have available to you might be different, but the process here will be nearly identical. I'm going to go ahead and click download core 8.0.2, and we'll download the tarball here by clicking it. I'll click save file. Now let's navigate to the folder, and I'll expand this by double clicking, and I'll expand the Drupal folder here. And now in this window, I'm going to navigate back to our Drupal 2 directory. So I'll go to computer, opt, lamp, apps, Drupal 2. We'll delete this index.php file, and I'm going to select all the files here and drag them over to copy them over. And so now we have our files. Next, we need a database. So again, we can go to our XAMPP dashboard by going to the browser and just typing in localhost. And we can get to phpMyAdmin by clicking the upper right link here. Over in the left-hand side, we have a list of our databases. We just click new, and let's call this Drupal 2, and let's click create. Okay, so at this point, we can go back to our Drupal 2 site and refresh, and we'll get the Drupal installation screen. I'm not going to walk through the entire installation process because that's not necessary here, but let's at least make sure that we're connected to the database. I'm going to click save and continue. I'll click save and continue again. So we get some notifications. There's an issue with clean URLs, which isn't a deal breaker, but we have a couple of deal breakers down here. Let's square those away so we can get to the point where we're connecting to the database. So first, we need to create a site's default files directory and set permissions on it so that Drupal can write to it. So I'm going to go back to our file system. I'll click on sites, default, and we'll create a new folder here called files. And I'll open up a terminal window, and we're going to sudo changed 777 this files directory. So I'll just drag the files folder over. All right, now let's go back to the browser and refresh. So it looks like the file system is good. Next thing we need to do is create a settings file in our settings default folder by copying the default settings.php file. So here's the default. We're going to right click it and select copy to. We'll click select, and we'll rename this as settings.php. And we also need to change permissions on it for right now. So back on the command line, we'll type in sudo changed 777, and we'll drag our settings.php file over and hit enter. Now let's go back to the browser and refresh, and we're going to click continue anyway for now. Here's our database information. Our database name is Drupal 2, and XAMPP sets the database username as root with an empty password. So we'll put that in and click save and continue. And if you see this installing Drupal window, we're good to go. At this point, you should be able to set up additional web projects, either for Drupal or any other PHP-based application.